There's a new coalition around. This one has a very fanciful name. Let's see what it's called. Operation Prosperity Guardian. That's the name of the coalition or the operation. And from that fanciful name, you can be sure it is an American outfit. I mean, who else can come with this kind of moronic names? Now, if this operation or coalition was not created by the most murderous regime in the world, the most murderous political system in the world, internally and globally, then we would have found it hilarious. We would have laughed about it. But this is another operation that is going to produce very dangerous results. What is the purpose of this Operation Prosperity Guardian? Ostensibly to secure shipping on the Bab Al Mandal, international for the world. The problem is that there is no threat to the rest of the world on the Bab Al Mandal. Nobody said that the Bab Al Mandal is closed or ships from any part of the world are banned. The only ships that are banned to use the Bab Al Mandal, which Yemen announced will be confiscated or destroyed, are Zionist ships that are going to Zionist ports, ships that are coming from Zionist-controlled ports, or ships that have financial interest ownership of Zionists, by Zionists. Those are the only ships that are banned. Everybody else is free to go. That's the Yemeni position. And they have made it clear. You can come, you can pass, you can go. But if you are controlled by Zionists, calling on a Zionist port, coming out of a Zionist port, are owned by a Zionist entity, then you will be confiscated. Your ship will be confiscated, stopped. And Yemen has announced that every Zionist ship that it has taken or it will take will be kept for the Palestinians. It will be the Palestinians who will decide how these ships are to be dealt with, whether they are going to be part of a negotiation, of an exchange, or compensation, or whatever way that the Palestinians want to deal with this matter. But it is only Zionist ships that are forbidden, are banned from using the Bab Al Mandal. Now here comes America trying to portray that it is everybody who is being threatened. And because everybody is being threatened, then let's get everybody around the table to form this Operation Prosperity Guardian. That's the way they intend to secure the waterway. So let's examine what will happen then. Suppose they get this coalition, and we will talk about the coalition, because this coalition, a lot of people, a lot of countries which are supposed to join are not joining it, but we'll talk about that later. Suppose they create this coalition, and once it is operating in any form or shape, Netanyahu and his gang of fascists or Nazis, whatever they are, the Zionists, it's the same people. They send a ship purposely, knowing that Yemen will either stop it or hit it. What happens then with this coalition of Prosperity Guardian? They will have to take military activities, operation. They will have to attack. And there you have a shooting war going on. Where? On the Bab Al Mandal. Exactly at the place where they claim they want to keep open and safe for international shipping will end up being closed. Because once you have a shooting war going on there, there's nobody who is going to use the Bab Al Mandal. And that is a very narrow strait. I don't know how many ships you need, but it can't be too many ships you need to sink there to close the Bab Al Mandab. So there you have the Bab Al Mandab closed not by Yemen, but by the very countries or the very people who are claiming that they want to keep it open. The real threat to shipping in the Bab Al Mandab is not coming from Yemen, which has guaranteed that nobody is going to be harmed. Only Zionist entity, only ships belonging or calling on Zionist ports will be stopped. Everybody else is free. It will be the Americans and their Zionist allies who will actually end up closing the Bab Al Mandab, threatening the Bab Al Mandab's passage. That's what is happening today. And now they have come up with this so-called coalition, which obviously nobody wants to join. Let's take a look here for a moment. France has refused. Italy has refused. Spain said it will only participate in a NATO-led mission or EU-coordinated operation. Britain will join anything that the Americans are doing, so they don't count. Greece, well, if you want to take them seriously, go ahead, be my guest. Other countries, Netherlands has sent 2 staff officers. Yeah, they have sent 2 military officers, probably carrying some Dutch cheese with them, like that. Norway said it would send 10 naval officers. Now, Norway is outdoing the Dutch. They're sending 10. The Dutch are sending 2. I mean, nobody is taking this thing seriously. Why? Because they know this is not about international shipping. There is no threat to the world shipping. There's only Zionist ships that are being told you cannot use the Bab Al Mandab. Now come to the Arab side of this coalition. Who has joined the Arab side? Bahrain? I mean, come on. Seriously? And on the African side, who has joined? Seychelles? Are you kidding me? I mean, what are they going to do when there's a shooting war there? But the heavyweights, you don't see them in this list. You don't see Saudi Arabia, you don't see Turkey, you don't see UAE, you don't see Oman. You don't see anyone who can, Egypt, you don't see Egypt there. Now the Americans are trying to portray that there are others who are joining, but we want to keep it secret. Keep it secret? Why? When the shooting war comes, they will be wearing uniform of other countries? Secret? The whole idea is crazy. And why are they keeping it secret? Why, if indeed these other Arab nations are joining but keeping it secretly, why are they keeping it secretly? Because they know that this coalition is about protecting Zionist ships, not about protecting world ships, but Zionist ships. And they don't want to be identified with that. And they know if they are seen by their own people that they are participating in any coalition whose only purpose is to protect Zionist ships, the same Zionist entity which is committing a genocide in Gaza today, and you are actually participating with the Americans to protect their ships, there will be accountability with their people. The people are not going to take that and sit quiet. And they know it. They could create trouble for themselves within their own countries. And so either they have not joined, or if they have joined and they are keeping it silent, it's because of that. This whole issue of creating this stupid coalition again, one of the many coalitions. I mean, how many coalitions are there already? Let's have a look at the number of coalitions they are running. It's a joke. It's becoming really a joke. You've got Operation Atalanta, set up by the European Union Naval Force, Somalia. Then you have got Operation Agino. It's a European-led operation. And then you've got the Operation Combined Maritime Force. It's a multinational maritime partnership led by the US from Bahrain. I mean, Seriously? They have nothing better to do? Interestingly, when Abdul Malik al-Houthi, the leader of the Ansarullah or Houthi organization, when he again reaffirmed that all other ships are open, the Bab Al Mandab is open to international shipping, only Zionist ships are not allowed. When he made that announcement, he warned the countries in the region. He told them, don't get yourselves involved in this so-called American operation whose only purpose is to safeguard Zionist shipping. Don't get involved in it. And he said clearly, and that was quite an interesting comment by him, he said clearly, telling the Americans, we are waiting for you. Stop using proxies to fight us. It's time you stop using proxies. Come and face us directly so that the world knows who we are fighting. Don't hide behind other countries and hide behind coalitions and hide behind proxies. You want to take a fight with Yemen? Go ahead and announce it. Attack Yemen openly, and then we will deal with it. That was the message. So today, as we watch this coalition being created again by the United States, trying to use other countries in the region to fight the America's wars in this region, we have to be extremely careful here. I mean, there are so many operations that are being created in the region by the United States that we are even losing count of the number of operations there are. All these operations in the region, all these alliances in the region are aimed at only one thing: creating instability in this region, creating more wars in this region. And it is about time that people actually looked at what is happening around in this region by external forces, especially the US, and take a stand against this, because this is going to cost more. It's already costing 20,000 Palestinian lives only in this war. We are not talking about 75 years of occupation of Palestine. And we are not talking about other colonial occupation in this region, which have cost this region hundreds of thousands of lives, millions of lives. In Algeria, we had 1.5 million people killed by colonial forces. We'll talk about that on another occasion. It's about time that we put an end, people in this region put an end to this kind of activities, resist this kind of activities. We need to bring back peace in this region. We need to have harmony in this region. And there can be no harmony in this region as long as we've got all these foreign forces running around with all kinds of operations and all kinds of warships and all kinds of aircraft carriers in our region. We cannot have harmony and peace in this region with that happening.